You know when you start something and you really regret doing it. Hi everybody, welcome back to my channel. So today was going to be a kitchen clean video, and it still is going to be, but it's going to end up much longer because for some reason I decided that this cupboard needed cleaning out. I have no idea, but I'm really starting to regret my decisions. There is stuff out everywhere. I have clean pots and pans on the side. I even have a washing up bowl in the middle of the kitchen. But half this stuff I don't even use, so I am going to get rid of it, give this cupboard a good clean out. Probably not the bottom half of it because I still have the rest of the kitchen, which is my original plan, was to sort this out. I really wanted to do just like a deep clean of this area because this is where everything gets dumped, and my draining board was in desperate need of a good scrub. It isn't something that gets like a super clean on a regular basis, other than the tray that catches them drips. The rest of it doesn't get a super clean. So I'm going to get on with the video now. I'm going to start off by drying everything that is on the draining board so that I can actually get round to cleaning it. So this tray was actually on the draining board ready to be put away, but it had a greasy feel to it. I can't seem to get it off. I know it's old and it's always covered when I use it, but it just has that like oily, greasy feeling to it all the time. But what I am going to do is go through all of the pots and pans that are on the floor, decide what I am keeping and what I'm not, and everything that I am going to keep, I'm just going to give it a rewash before I put it back into the cupboard. I had actually already cleaned this cupboard out before I started recording, so it's clean inside. I'm just going to get everything put away. I forgot to start recording because this wasn't in the plan. I just wanted to get on with, a general clean of the kitchen and a little bit of a deep clean on that draining board. But hey ho, at least I know that this cupboard's now clean and organised. We get a lot of like spiders and things getting in the cupboards, so I did hoover it all out too. I do really need to get the backs of these cupboards sealed in to stop all of those bugs from climbing in through the back. This is obviously an outside wall, so anything out there can kind of get in here pretty easy. This might look silly to a few of you guys, but I'm going to put on some rubber gloves. I know there is spiders probably in among all of this stuff on the floor. Whether alive or not, it doesn't matter. I have quite a big fear of spiders, and putting on these gloves just makes me able to manage the situation a little bit better. If you had all seen me earlier when I first started cleaning this out, you probably would have all had a good laugh. I didn't dare get in here. I had to use the end of the hoover nozzle, so like the really long part that you would suck up things off the floor with. I had to use that because I didn't dare get in. I was on the phone with my mum and she was like laughing at me because it just looks ridiculous. This is how the cupboard looks now. It's pretty organised, maybe not as organised as some people, but it is a lot better than it was when I first started. That pan that's got the brown on it, it is clean. I can't get it off. I've scrubbed it to an inch of its life. It just isn't coming off. Anyway, back on topic a little bit. So I'm now going to get on with the draining board, which was the original plan. And I think it is pretty obvious how desperate this is for a really good clean. So I'm going to get on with this now. I'm going to get all that cutlery put away and then we can crack on with this draining board and sink area. Once I'd washed all the little extra bits that came on the draining rack, I'm going to get on with the draining board itself and also this little strip that runs behind the sink. I'm just going to brush off all the little bits that were on here, give it a squirt of disinfectant and also a little bit of washing up liquid and give this a really good scrub. Now, this draining board, it actually took me a few minutes to figure out how I was actually going to clean it because it's bigger than the sink. So in the end, I decided this was the best way and I'm just going to turn it as I clean it, if that makes sense. And hopefully we don't get too much water and soap on the floor and elsewhere. And as much as I love it, like it is great compared to just like having my pot stacked up on the draining board, but it's such a nightmare to clean. It's great that I can like have more pots on here when I'm washing and drying, but trying to clean it, as you can see, it is no easy job. And here I go losing the tea towel I've just had hold of. Does anybody else do this? Like have something and like a second later it's gone and you can't find it? This was right in front of me on the wash pile, so I did find it pretty quick. It's one of those things, isn't it? Like you have hold of something, you're using it and then all of a sudden you can't find it. I'm now moving on to the worktop, so I'm just going to move everything out of the way, give it all a good wipe over with these Dettol disinfectant wipes. Also going to clean all of the appliances down, some of the plug sockets, just anything in this sort of like general area. Dust does settle on top of things, so I'm just going to clean those off and then also give the walls a little wipe over too. Now moving on to the windowsill, I'm just going to take everything off of here. It's mainly candles that I've got up here and little ornaments. So I'm going to get these all took off and give this a good wipe down. I do get a lot of flies, as I think I've already said, settling up here. They seem to come here to die. Not really sure why this is. I think maybe they get stuck and don't realise that they can turn around. I just have no idea. Anyway, I'm going to wipe this off with some disinfectant spray. I'm just going to use some kitchen roll, and as you can see, quite a lot of kitchen roll actually. I didn't realise just how much I had used before I started editing this video. Maverick's outside here, he is just watching me clean. The last little thing I have to do here is to clean the actual windows. I have got window cleaner, I'm not sure where it's gone. It's one of those things that I used the other day upstairs and it's disappeared. So I'm just going to do a little bit of Spider-Man across here, just crawling along here. I always worry it's going to collapse. I don't know why, I just have this feeling that one day it's just going to give way on me. And that is the windowsill and the sink all nice and clean. I do have this bit near the air fryer and I do have everything over on the other side. This is everything off of the windowsill. I'm going to give it a clean, decide what's going to go back up and put everything else back where it belongs. I'm now just going to light some candles. I've got my wax burner and 2 candles here. The smells pretty much go together. This green one in the middle is a new one out of Aldi. It is the pumpkin and vanilla one. But I have been tidying this kitchen for the best part of a full day now. I'm nowhere near finished. I think it probably is going to take me 2 days to get the job done, but it will be worth it in the long run. And you know, you don't have to get everything done in a single day. If it takes you several days, if it takes you a week, does it really matter? As long as you're getting it done in the end, that is what is important. It just reduces the stress. I know the clutter can get on top of us so easy, especially us with kids. You know, the stuff is just everywhere all of the time. You know, it can be hard to keep on top of. I'm now just going to fold the massive pile of clothes for my 9 children, which is what it looks like I have. This is how the table is looking now that I've folded up all the clothes. I do have some blankets, back to school bits on here. Maverick's just staring. I also have some bits on here that aren't even mine. I need to take them back to my nana's house. So first things first, I'm going to use this bag and anything that belongs to Ayla, toys, perfume, makeup, anything daft like that. I'm going to put it into a bag and then I can take it upstairs tomorrow. And then anything else will just get put back where it either belongs. If it hasn't got a home, it may very well just stay on the kitchen table for now. It doesn't matter, it's going to look a lot better when I'm finished either way. It is about 2 o'clock in the morning whilst I'm still tidying and I'm shattered. I don't know if you can tell, I'm starting to flag, but I really just wanted to get as much finished as I could. I have ADHD and I struggle with organising and tidying up, and if I stop, that motivation just goes completely, and quite often I find it hard to start again. So whilst it is there, I'm just trying to blast through as much as I possibly can, but I will be going to bed once I've finished this kitchen table. We are back for round 2. This is the following morning. As you can probably tell, I am still in my pyjamas. Ayla's currently entertaining herself, so I thought I would get on with some uninterrupted cleaning. Crack straight on first thing when I got up. This way it isn't just sat here and getting more of a mess throughout the day. I'm starting on one of the worktops that I never quite got round to yesterday, so anything that needs putting away or washing, I'm going to put them towards the sink, and then everything else is just going to get put away or put into the bin. Now that everything has been moved off of the counter that shouldn't be there, I'm going to wipe everything over with a disinfectant wipe and just organise this space a little bit better. I will be putting things back on top of the microwave, such as my shop and scan book. I like these out because I find it easier to use them when I need them. I know exactly where they are, so I am going to give these a wipe. They were quite dusty. I'm also going to keep my bank card up here and some trolley coins. I'm then going to move on to the area where the air fryer is. I'm going to give this a good wipe off. This place always gets mucky. I think I said in the beginning of the video, this area always becomes a dumping ground. Plates go on here, any rubbish, sometimes Ayla comes through and we'll just leave a wrapper on here rather than putting it in the bin. So this place gets particularly dirty. I'm going to scrub the walls behind the air fryer. There was like a little mark off of where the heat comes out. I am now on to the last bit. I'm just going to use the hoover nozzle to go around all of the edges. This is the nozzle that I had to put into the cupboard because I was frightened that spiders were going to be in it. And then I'm just going to use the normal part of the hoover to get the bigger area up. Just in case anyone's wondering why I had to blur that section out, Maverick decided to have a poo whilst I was recording. You couldn't really see anything. You could see that he was in a squat position, so I thought it was best just to blur it out just so you guys didn't have to see any of that. I'm now going to get on with mopping the floor. I'm just going to use my speed mop with some flash inside and hot water. That is the kitchen finally done. It's not perfect by any means, but it is a million times better than what I started with. What started up as a quick kitchen clean did end up in a 2-day deep clean, especially I still had Ayla to look after and everything else to do. but I am so pleased I stuck with it and finished it all the way to the end. Especially since I opened that cupboard up and regretted it, I'm just glad that everything is all nice and clean. Everything on the kitchen table I'm keeping here. This is back to school bits that I want out and ready, and the other stuff is to give back to my nana. Thank you so much for watching, guys. I hope this gave you some motivation to tackle that area of your house that you need to clean. Let me know down in the comments what you have been putting off cleaning in your house. Also, don't forget to like, comment and subscribe, and I will see you all in the next one.